Where we are right now is dangerous times. We're living in dangerous times. Do we have a president of the United States or do we have a king? What exactly is happening? What is the distraction? Is the distraction Elon and Trump and the whole Epstein file? Are we distracting away from that by creating chaos in the street? Are we headed for martial law? Because we are in the middle of civil unrest right now. Let me know in the comments what you think and share it out with your family and your friends. Subscribe to the channel for more news that you can use. News on the go.
Marines have now reportedly been deployed to Los Angeles, with the Pentagon reportedly looking to create rules of engagement for them if they encounter protesters. Right in this, it comes as Trump said minutes before that he doesn't want a civil war, that the situation is under control, and that this isn't an insurrection. Trump also said that he should arrest Governor Newsom, and when asked why, he said because he ran for office. Right in that comes after Newsom told Trump to come arrest him if he wants to be a, quote, tough guy.
Come after me, arrest me, let's just get it over with. Tough guy.
And all of this after, notably in 2020, Trump said he can't send in the National Guard unless the governor requests it. And so with that, you had a reporter asking today what changed to enable him to suddenly find that legal authority to deploy the Guard. With him then saying the situation has changed because California now has an incompetent governor, though it is the same guy, it's still Gavin. Also, you have California suing Trump to take back control of the National Guard. And you have that as Trump has them sleeping on the ground in loading docks because they didn't make adequate sleeping arrangements. And you have a source with the Guard telling the San Francisco Chronicle that the Guard was wildly unprepared and that they don't have federal funding for food, water, fuel, equipment, or lodging.
Trump just called in the National Guard to LA. Yeah, for real. He says he's sending troops out here to help with immigration. But look, man, let's keep it $150. This ain't no help. He got 2,000 soldiers coming to back up ICE while they raid people's homes. They not even asking the governor anymore, bruh. Trump just doing whatever the fuck he wants. He's saying it's getting out of control out here. But look, we all know what that means, right? And word is, this is the craziest part, man. If stuff pops off, the Marines might be next. The fucking Marines, bro. They're gonna send the Marines out here if the National Guard can't handle business. Like I've been saying, this is not about safety. It's about control.
Okay, breaking news. Donald Trump is deploying Marines to Los Angeles.
CNN can now report that roughly 500 Marines are being mobilized in response to the protests in Los Angeles.
And in this new move, active duty military members are being deployed as a show of force against U.S. citizens.
Okay, I want you to think about that last sentence. Active duty military are being deployed as a show of force against U.S. citizens. That's what we've come to.
In San Francisco tonight, hundreds gathered in front of the ICE office to stand with the people protesting in LA. The gathering becoming more tense as the night wore on, with people turning over barricades and vandalizing SFPD patrol cars and Waymos.
And Bart says the demonstrations are disrupting service. The agency says trains are not stopping at the Embarcadero station at the request of police.
NBC Bay Area's Alyssa Gordon was at the protests and spoke to people about why they decided to take to the streets.
In downtown San Francisco tonight, protesters stood in front of the ICE office on Sansom, a show of solidarity with demonstrators in LA who've been protesting for 3 straight days following the ICE raids there.
It's important for us to show up everywhere because of what happened in LA, what's happening in LA, what's happening all over our country.
In LA, less lethal rounds were fired during a clash between protesters, LA police, and National Guard members outside a federal detention center. Some angry President Trump deployed the National Guard.
My husband's a soldier overseas as we speak, and I'm a veteran. So this angers me.
Donald Trump just deployed 700 active duty Marines to Los Angeles. Not the National Guard, not state troops, but these are combat trained Marines being sent into an American city because people are protesting immigration raids. Let's be real clear about what this is. This isn't about protecting federal buildings. That's just their excuse. This is about using military force to intimidate people who are standing up against injustice. People are protesting ICE raids that are ripping families apart and deporting people without any due process. And the federal government's response is to send in the fucking Marines. And what's worse is he bypassed the governor of California. The governor didn't ask for this. Trump just chose to federalize the National Guard and then sent in Marines without state approval. That's not just aggressive, that's a full-blown constitutional crisis. This is not normal, guys. You don't deploy troops trained for war into neighborhoods with protesters. That's not peacekeeping. That's literally escalation. That's the kind of move you see in authoritarian regimes. And the fact that this is happening during Trump's presidency should scare the hell out of all of you, knowing his track record. Because if this is what he's willing to do now, what else is he willing to normalize before this term is over? This isn't about law and order. It's about power and fear. And if you're not paying attention, I would say now is probably the time to start.
Sizing the Trump administration's actions.
This move to federalize the National Guard troops is designed to inflame and divide. That is the goal, to create chaos and inflame and trigger a reaction over the governor and the mayor's objection.
We stand in solidarity with our immigrant communities. We are here to urge that all protests remain peaceful.
Back in San Francisco, the tone turned tense. Some protesters spray painted the ICE building, dismantled the metal barricade, and attempted to smash some of the windows.
People here say that they've been following what's been going on in LA very closely, and many people told me that they're concerned that similar immigration raids or even deployment of federal troops could happen here.
In downtown Manhattan, I have been watching police officers and anti-ICE protesters clashing this afternoon. We saw one person go away in an ambulance. I saw two people detained and arrested. You can see this person is in handcuffs right here. Folks also were putting water on their eyes. I don't know if something was deployed, but there were a few people who were receiving medical care on the protesters' side just a few minutes ago.
Arrest on the charge of disorderly conduct.
Protests erupted into chaos Wednesday night outside the federal immigration court in Soho. Officers and crowds clashing over barricades. About 24 protesters taken into custody for charges that include obstruction of government administration.
People say, oh, let them come in legally. And when they try to come in legally and follow the court proceedings, they're being kidnapped.
The protests come hours after witnesses report several people were taken into custody inside the ICE field office in Lower Manhattan.
I've been working here for a couple years, and I've never seen either this many agents, let alone agents dressed in plain clothes, wearing masks, pulling people out of line. It's totally out of the ordinary.
Under the Trump administration, advocates say it is becoming increasingly common for ICE to arrest and detain migrants at their immigration court hearings. It's what happened to a 20-year-old Bronx high school student last week.
It's a catch-22. You don't show up for your court hearing, then you're also then could be ordered removed from the country.
The Venezuelan student, identified as Dylan, was arrested by ICE at the federal immigration court in Lower Manhattan, where he showed up for a hearing on his asylum request.
They mess with the wrong people and they're messing with New York City kids.
Naveed Hassan, a parent on the city's Board of Ed, says he's been fielding calls from worried immigrant parents.
This is a scary moment in America. The National Guard was sent out to Los Angeles. This is only going to get worse unless people take it seriously and understand that Donald Trump really wants to be a king. He admires Kim Jong-il. He admires Putin. Those are the people he wants to be like. And here in New York City, we have a mayor that wants to be Donald Trump. We're in some tough situations, but I believe in the resolve of better Americans.
Well, we're one step closer to martial law with the National Guard being deployed to LA and Marines on high alert. Do you know the first thing you should do? There it is. First thing you should do if martial law is declared. You know how to avoid CCTVs from tracking you? Or how to stop your phone from tracking you? Or how to stay completely off the government's radar? And here's how to communicate in a blackout. And you'll want to know everything about home security as well. This is Joe Lambert. He's a 10-year Navy SEAL vet.
So I bought my own Navy SEAL bug-in guide, because who's trying to bug out, right? How to turn your home into the safest place on earth. And it has ways you can store your food, can your food. Of course, what he just showed you, protecting your bug-in food stockpile against pests. You name it, this book has it.
The 3 U.S. cities under military control right now. The last one is facing a rare federal deployment. Number 3 is New York City, New York. Just a month or two ago, in April 2025, New York saw a highly visible deployment of National Guard troops to major transit hubs and public.
I know that was a lot, but hey, a lot is happening. So I wanted to keep you updated on it in just a short video. Definitely let me know what you think down below. Are you preparing for possible martial law? Are you preparing for civil unrest in your community? What are you doing? What are some things that you're doing? Put them down in the comments. Are you growing your own food so that you have what you need at your home? Are you stockpiling so that you can fill in the gaps of what you can't grow on your own? What are you doing to make sure your family is self-sufficient, is more safe? You know what I mean? Because we don't know if it spills out into the streets in the cities. Does it move into rural areas? Does it move into your community? We don't know if grocery stores will be looted, because there are stores that are being looted, you guys, in certain neighborhoods. To prevent you from losing out, there are some things that you can do at home. Get in the comments and let me know what you're doing.